So we're going to do two things in this section P2. We're going to talk about exponents and we're going to talk about scientific notation. The exponents are quite a few rules, and I'm going to go through them, and we use them a lot, so it's good to note the rules and how to use them. So we'll give you lots of examples and you'll get practice in the homework as well. Okay, so the first rule we have is called the product rule of exponents. And it says if you have a to the m times a to the n, then that equals a to the m plus n. So if you think about having, sorry about that, if you think about having like a to the 5th times a cubed, well then a to the 5th is just I shouldn't have picked such a high number, a, right? And then a cubed is a, but they're all being multiplied together, right? So how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A to the 8th. Well, we don't have to write that all out. We can just say there's a rule that says I'm going to add those exponents when I'm multiplying. Oops. And that's how I get a to the 8th. Now, one thing to note, the base has to be the same. So in an exponent, you have a base and then some power or exponent. Might be, you know, n or 5 or something like that. But this is the power, or we'll call it the exponent. You'll hear both said. And then this is the base. So the bases have to be the same to apply that rule. Okay, so now here we go. Some examples. Here I have 2 to the 2nd times 2 cubed. Well, the bases are the same. The base is 2. And I can add the exponents. So 2 to the 2 plus 3, or 2 to the 5th. Now, if it's a number that's the base, a lot of times they're going to want you to multiply that out. If it's a really large number, they don't usually make you do that. They'll let you put like 5 to the 7th or something. But 2 to the 5th is a pretty small number. But if you can put it on your calculator, you can do it that way, or just multiply 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then it would be 32. So you might be saying, well, wouldn't it have been easier just for me to think 4 times 8, you know? Yeah, you could have done it that way as well, and you're thinking maybe the order of operations. But we're just trying to give you some examples of how to use the product rule. And there are times when you can't just get a number. The base isn't a number, so we have to have these rules. Okay, so let's look at B here. We have this expression, 6x to the 4th y cubed, times this expression, 5x squared y to the 7th. Well, what you want to do is you want to line things up. You want to go, what is the coefficients multiplied together? So what's 6 times 5? And then you want to say, well, I've got x to the 4th times x squared. And then I want the y's, I'm going to be putting them together, y cubed times y to the 7th. Now, you don't have to rewrite it that way, but if this is new for you or a little tricky, or that you like it better to look at it that way, you could do that. Now remember, these are coefficients, not exponents. So we just want to know what's 6 times 5, 30. And then I have a base of x, and I'm going to add those exponents. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then I have a base of y, and I'm going to add those exponents. 3 plus 7 is 10. And so that's going to be the answer like that. Now, if you're thinking, well, why don't I do something, you know, why don't I add the 6 and the 10? You can't, because they're not the same base. Okay, so one's an x and the other's a y. Okay? So that's that video.